Get ready, because the one and only Oprah's here to reveal. We love this when this happens. Her latest book club selection only on CBS. Drum roll, please. This is all we can do. We're a high-class operation.
Okay, it's
Oprah's
called
here. What is it?
Some Bright Nowhere by Ann Packer.
Ann Packer, we should say, is the New York Times best-selling author, thank you very much, of 5 novels, including 5 novels, catch that, The Children's Crusade. Some Bright Nowhere is here. Is her first novel, though, in more than a decade. What took you so long, Ed? It's an intimate story about marriage, family, and friendships, which follows Eliot and his wife, Claire, who's living with cancer. Claire makes a very unusual request of her husband that puts their marriage of nearly 40 years to the test. Ann Packer joins us now. Good morning to you, Ann.
Good morning.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. What a thrill.
And you've got the Oprah O on your necklace there.
So,
pre-planned.
Oprah, tell us what the request was and why this.
Well,
like
listen, when I called Ann, I was like, Ann, I'm choosing this book because I'm fascinated by the theme, but I'm very annoyed by the lead character.
Yes.
I mean, I'm telling you, I'm very annoyed, but I'm choosing it anyway.
Because what did she want her husband to do? Claire's been diagnosed with cancer, and it's very terminal. And what does she want?
Well, she's at the end of 8.5 years of being ill, and she's in the terminal phase. She's entering hospice. And she's decided that she'd like her 2 closest women friends to come take care of her instead of her husband, and for him to move out.
But puts her husband out.
Yes. That's what I didn't like, because I thought Eliot was such a good guy. And then I found myself mad at Claire and her friends. But is this a thing? That's what I was wondering.
One of the reasons I was so interested in the story is one of my producers had said to me, in her community in Chicago, a lot of women are doing this, that a lot of women, that this is like a trend. And I went, it's a trend? This is real? It reads like a real story.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad for that.
Yeah.
When I first heard about this happening, it was almost 20 years ago. And it was just sort of someone mentioning, oh, there's this woman and this happened. And I just went, wow, what? And I got, like, the idea, the sort of appeal of women taking care of women.
But I couldn't figure out, Ann, why they couldn't all do it together. That was what was so upsetting to me.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
the way Eliot was portrayed as someone who was a good husband.
But I also feel like if you're in your dying days, you get to do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah. What does it make you think about the obligations of marriage, though, in both directions?
Yeah.
Right, because a lot of people who have read the book have been like, how could he just say yes? How could he go ahead and leave? And for me, the question is, the dying wish is sort of paramount. Like, you're not going to allow your spouse to have that kind of death that they're telling you they want to have.
I know, Oprah, I got hung up a dying wish, so of course she should get it. And then I got mad because I didn't think that was fair. Why couldn't the husband and the friends all do it together, Ann?
Well, there wouldn't be a book.
Well, and you originally, you were going to write it from different perspectives, and you decided to deeply focus on Eliot's point of view.
The husband's perspective.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why did you make that choice?
Well, what happened was, I had heard about this back in like 2006 maybe, and it kind of nagged at me, and I kept worrying about the husband. So I thought, let me see if I can develop a novel out of this. And I had recently been working in multiple points of view, and so I thought, that's what I'll do here. And I wrote, I don't know, 10 pages from the point of view of the wife, and then I moved on to one of the friends, and I did another 20 pages. And I was like, gotta get to that husband. That's where this is headed. That's what's interesting. And I just couldn't find my way into the work I had to do to get to his point of view.
Right.
So I set it aside, and I was mulling it over, like, why is that more compelling? And then it hit me, it's his story. The whole book is his point of view. Yeah.
What do you love most, Oprah, about Ann's writing?
Well, I love that it, as I just said, that it feels like it's a true story, that it's, you know you're reading a novel, but it feels like the people are really real.
Yeah, I actually called her and said, did this really happen?
Did this really happen?
Yes.
Yeah, it did really happen in this story, Some Bright Nowhere. Some Bright Nowhere. And what I loved is we did, obviously, I'm doing these podcasts sponsored by Starbucks, and we had a whole audience of people who've experienced this. So many people are going through this. We had a husband whose wife asked him to leave. He left. She gets another boyfriend.
What?
And he ends up, and he ends up taking care of her. So, I mean, yes, it's very real.
I'm not leaving, Katie. I'm not leaving. Not leaving.
Oprah and Ann Packer, we thank you. Give people a lot to think about. Very well done. Very well done.
I love the title, too, Some Bright Nowhere.
Some Bright Nowhere.
It comes from a beautiful poem by poet Christian Wyman.
All right.
Beautiful phrase.
Yeah, lovely phrase.
Some Bright Nowhere, that beautiful phrase, is on sale right now wherever you like to buy your books. Please head on over to CBS Mornings page at cbsnews.com for a reader's guide and a free excerpt from the novel. And Oprah and Ann's Conversation, the Oprah podcast.